every day people are asking me, Big Nerdy, what are your thoughts on the Haslab Rancor? I'm getting emails, I'm getting tweets, hell, somebody even sent an owl to me. Well, the time has finally come, and I'm gonna tell you all of my thoughts, and some of them are not pretty. What's up, everybody? My name is Matt, often called Big Nerdy. We are the NWO, the Nerd World Order, and this is Nerdzoic. I've done quite a few of these pay pass videos now. I did one for the Sentinel, I did one for Galactus. This isn't going to be a normal one. Those, I broke down the projects, I told you all about it, and then I shared my thoughts. Well, this one, different. I do want to say off the bat that regardless of whether I give this a personal pay or pass or whether I advise it's a pay or pass, I think Hasbro and the Star Wars team, I love you guys, but you dropped the ball on this one. This could have been done a lot better. And a lot of it was just the way it was handled and some of the choices that were made. Now, as you know, I'm usually a very positive geek, and I love the concept of HasLab. I think Hasbro does a great job 99% of the time, and I'm not here to bash them, but I do not think this is going very well. So there's a lot of things wrong with this project. The entire way it was rolled out could have been done better, and it started with the early leak. That did not help because that took all of the anticipation that builds the initial steam for these projects completely out of the sales. Then they start this campaign at a pretty terrible time. We got the G.I. Joe campaign going on. We got a Ghostbuster campaign going on. The holidays are coming up. People just got done paying for Galactus. Maybe this should have been spread out a little bit more. Then it just doesn't seem like they were ready for it when it started. And I get that because everything's screwed up right now with global shipping, but maybe you should have just waited until you had the actual painted prototype in hand. We started off with just digital renders. Then we got actual pictures of the grayscale prototype. Finally, it took until, 17 days before the end of the actual campaign till we got a painted picture. This does not help considering people have concerns over the quality control on HasLab. To not even see what it looks like, that's a little scary, and this is stuff that should have happened before it was even officially announced. And then, of course, there's the tiers, and we're going to talk a lot about the tiers, because that seems to be where everybody's problem is. And the second one specifically, just a little bit tone deaf. Now, I'll be honest, I was not really excited about this project to begin with. This isn't a once-in-a-lifetime selection for me, not a must-have. I do have to say, there is no other creature or beast I would have liked than the Rancor. This is the definitive creature from Star Wars, right? Like, if you're going to go this route, it has to be the Rancor. But there are other things I would have liked to see outside of the beast and creature area. Like, we could have gone in the vehicles. A lot of people are saying it's not possible, but it's possible. To quote The Godfather, difficult, not impossible. First, we could have got an X-Wing. I did a video last year where I actually did the math to figure out how much it would cost, how big it would be in 6-inch scale, and it's doable. The pricing would probably be about the same. It would be about 44 inches long, so that's a couple inches smaller than the sail barge. The tiers would have been difficult to come up with some things, but you could have got in there. You could have done like a removable R2. You could have added in like the ladder for the person to work on it. And think about all of the electronics that you could have put on this thing as like standard. It could have been a really cool HasLab for about the same price. What I really wanted to see though, not vehicles. I was hoping they'd go the playset route, but don't do it in a way where it's made for adults and kids. Do it in a way that it's made just for the adult collector, or it's focused on specifically and only on dios and toy photography, so that it doesn't have to all interconnect and have play features. It just needs to be highly detailed. Specifically, I would have loved to have seen either the Death Star. So with the Death Star, we could have got like a conference room. We could have got the trash compactor, the hallways, the final battle hangar. It could have came with like a Vader and an Obi-Wan just for that with cloth goods. Oh my goodness, it would have been amazing. Obi-Wan could have came with an extra robe so you could just leave him on the ground dead. You could totally have done this. Just look at the Death Star walls that was done by an outside company a few years ago. I don't know too much about them, so I'm not going to speak on them, but I know that they sold out really quickly and they were amazing and expensive. Think about what Hasbro could do with the infrastructure they had doing that type of an item. I would have been all over that. That would have been a must-have for me to set up behind me. Another playset option would have been like a Falcon playset, but not the whole Millennium Falcon. No, I'm talking specifically about the interior. Give us interior areas. We could have done the cockpit. We could have done the chest, the Jarek, whatever it is, table. We could have done the bunk. We could have like a Luke with a training room. There are so many things you can do. Like, it would have been endless, and it would have been so cool. Add in the electronics to have, and especially in the cockpit. Oh my goodness. I get excited thinking about it. Now, people keep saying, no, we should have got a full Falcon. That's the only way to go. That would never happen. This one you can say never to, because I did the math. A full-scale Falcon would be 114 inches, which is like 10 feet in diameter. So you're talking like $1,200 probably. They could have even done something completely out of their comfort zone and gone completely crazy like Ghostbusters did with the Proton Pack. Imagine if they made like a full Stormtrooper armor or something. Something completely cosplay crazy. It would have been awesome, but they didn't. So alas, we have the Rancor. So let's talk more about the Rancor itself. Now the product itself, the Rancor, whatever his name happens to be, I just like to call him George. George looks awesome. Why am I calling him George? I don't know. But he looks great. It is absolutely gorgeous. The paint apps, the texturing, the way they have like the translucent drool, the metal accents on the chains and shackles and his little earring. He looks amazing. The articulation is great, though I do admit I do kind of wonder, like, hey, could we have gone like a little cheaper if the articulation wasn't so great? Like, I don't need all of his finger joints to move, right? Like, this thing's got more joints than a real Rancor probably has. It can probably do yoga, whereas a real Rancor can just walk and get crushed by gates and eat Gamorrean guards. Ratchet joints, butterfly joints. That is, for us like super toy nerds, yeah, we know what that is. But I would imagine that a lot of people, they're like, well, that should just be standard. Well, maybe it should be, but that does add a lot of expense to the project. And after the way things went with Sentinel Gate with the knees, yeah, you couldn't cut that corner, and they really went all out. And I give them a lot of credit for how hard that Star Wars team tried on this. But, you know, what does Yoda say?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Another thing that hurts this is the lack of electronics. Now, there's not much you can do for electronics here. Maybe throw in like a growling sound, but it would have been kind of cheesy. Because the product itself, the Rancor, just doesn't call for any electronics, and that hurts its perceived value. Also hurting its perceived value is the fact that we've gotten a bunch of these in 3 3/4 in scale, and all of them were a million times cheaper. Let's talk about pricing now. To me, the pricing never felt right. When I saw it was $350, I was like, what the heck? Okay, well, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe the tiers are like super amazing. That was my initial thought. And up until like an hour ago when I was preparing to film this video, I kept thinking that. But then I watched a video I did last year where I did the math based on the cost of plastic to see how much it would cost to make this. And I guessed it would be about $250. Well, that was a year ago. So you add in like a 20% increase for manufacturing costs, now it's at $300. You add in the fact that they did these crazy paint apps and extra joints, $350 is probably sadly like actually what it would cost. Let's talk about the tiers. The tiers suck, okay? I'm sorry. If they were throw-ins for something that I thought was a fair value to begin with, they wouldn't suck. For example, I thought Galactus was actually fairly priced to begin with. It didn't really matter what the tiers were to me. I had hopes, but I didn't think that they needed it to sell it. The tiers needed to be amazing. When you came out swinging with that Gamorrean guard, really? It's a repack. Yes, in my opinion, that's the greatest Black Series figure ever. But I can go buy that right now for $25. So I can buy it under market, and you're gonna repack it and think that I need it just because it's on a card? That is a cool card back, but no. And that's your first one? And then, like, the most tone-deaf thing I've ever seen. Plastic bones and a cardboard backdrop. The cardboard backdrop should have came in the box no matter what. That should have been something from the beginning that they just showed in pictures and were like, oh yeah, by the way, this comes with it. Silicious Crumb, I don't know, I didn't catch the live streams, but is this just a repaint of the one that we got with the Black Series Jabba years ago? So, cool, I like it. But no. Lastly, that Luke. That Luke looks awesome. Like, there's a lot of people who are like, that doesn't look like Luke. I think it looks great. I love cloth goods. Yeah, he looks pretty cool. But again, yeah, this is kind of stupid, guys. All of these, not what I would have wanted. Some of them are a complete slap in the face. That Luke, he should have been the first one, okay? Like, you go out there and you put the one that's the best in there first, okay? First or second. Like with the Galactus, they put Frankie first. They put the Silver Surfer second. So people were like, yeah, we gotta get there. You start off with the Gamorrean Guard. You put Luke so far out there at 19,000, I don't think there's a chance in hell that we get that Luke. And frankly, if Luke was first, I think that things would be a little different here. If you like flopped out Luke and the Gamorrean Guard, save your worst tier for last. Again, look at the Hasbro Marvel team. They took that Doomhead, which was a stupid tier, but at the 4th tier, it's fine. Why not? It's fine. You could throw it in like a Dio somewhere. Cool. It just looks like extra fodder. But yeah, no, come on, man. Now, the backlash has been severe, okay? Since the stream ended yesterday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, we have seen not a growth in backers. We've seen it drop slowly. Before the stream, I hear it had around 5,200 backers. I don't have a screenshot of it. But here's what it went to after the stream. 1 p.m., 5071, so it went down from that report. 5 p.m. It lost more. This stream was supposed to get people to go in droves to back it, not lose them. That's unthinkable. Then 11:30 p.m. last night, I checked it, 4,920. And I'm like, wow, that's terrible. Then today, the day I'm filming this Saturday, I checked it one final time. It went down even more. It's under 4,900 at time of filming. That means it's dropped hundreds of backers. They probably were expecting 1,000 or 2,000. That's a net loss of probably like, I don't know, 2,000, 2,500. That's really bad. Let's play hindsight, because that's always fun. What would Big Nerdy do if he was in charge of this Haslab? I'd still do it all from scratch, but I probably would have cut off some of the joints, just because, okay, if I got to cut corners somewhere, that's where it would be. Then the tiers is where I'd change everything. First of all, I would have given us a Jabba on a dais with 𝐒𝐨𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐶, with a floor grade diorama thing that we could set up. That would have been great, right? That would have been awesome. Because the tiers are supposed to be stuff that we wouldn't standardly get. And sure, we wouldn't standardly get the old school Power of the Force card with the coin. But again, let's get stuff we wouldn't normally get. We probably aren't going to get another Jabba released again anytime soon. How about a half-eaten Gamorrean guard? Hasbro would never release that in stores. Walmart, Target would never carry it. But here, yeah, why not? You could throw in half a guard. And as far as like the deluxe loot goes, as well as the things people are clamoring for, like people wanted a $350 Rancor Keeper, it seems like. But 𝐒𝐸𝐴, the Rancor Keeper, yes, but they should have been mainline releases, not tiers. No, they should have been announced ahead of time before this even started, kind of like the Fantastic Four Retro Collection figures were. This should have been announced as being released, but I digress, but that's what I would have done. We would have gotten it playset style, we would have gotten Jabba, 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐶, the half-eaten Gamorrean guard, and all sorts of like cardboard or plastic, more likely plastic, diorama pieces to make this look awesome. Now, pay or pass time. Will this fund? Probably. Part of me hopes it doesn't. I want Hasbro to learn some lessons from this, and they work hard, they do a great job most of the time, but missteps were taken, mistakes were made, and if this gets funded, I don't want them to think, see, people will buy whatever as long as it says Star Wars. My prediction here, 10,231. I do think it's going to fund, but I don't think we're going to get any of the tier backings for whatever it's worth. As far as what I'm going to do, will I pay or pass? I'll be honest, I'm conflicted. I don't want to give any positive reinforcement to them for a bad project by backing it, and I probably won't. However, if it looks like there's any chance we're going to get that Luke, then I might actually back this. Like, there's a chance. Either way, this ends December 7th, so that's 14 days away. We'll see. Officially, though, I am calling this a pass. Hasbro, don't take this too hard. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. And I want you to do better next time. I want to hear from you now. What is your plans with this? Are you backing it? Are you not backing it? Are you undecided? What do you think of my idea? Would you back it if it went with the tiers like I said, with the Jabba on the dais and the diorama stuff, half-eaten guard, knowing that we're going to get 𝐒𝐸𝐴 and the Rancor Keeper released before this even comes out? Would you do the Big Nerdy way? And remember, you have to get old, but you don't have to grow up. Just be cool and stay nerdy. Later.